Hello, good morning, friends, and you're welcome back to the channel. As usual, it's beautiful to have you here. And today, we just want to quickly discuss about the characteristics of living things. This is for our undergraduate class, and then perhaps SSC. What are the characteristics of living things? It's good that we know we have about nine of them, starting from nutrition. Every living thing must have a way of taking in nutrients into itself, and these nutrients can either be taken directly from the environment in the form of organic matter, or the organism itself can, use inorganic material to make its own nutrient and then absorb that same nutrient that it has made for itself. These animals, herbivores, they eat ready-made matter. It could be plants, it could be other animals, and if it is plants and some other microorganisms, they make their own nutrients, making use of inorganic matter like water, that's H2, like carbon dioxide, like nitrogen. They make use of nitrogen, they make use of sulfur, they make use of many different kinds of elements and materials that are in nature. They can make use of them to generate their own nutrients. So that's nutrition. Nutrition is important for every organism because that's the way they're going to be able to sustain life. That's the way they're going to be able to carry out all their life processes. Now, after nutrition, you have assimilation, which involves all the biochemical processes that are run in different cells. All the different types of metabolic activities that organisms engage in. And they engage in all these activities so that they're able to absorb these nutrients that they have taken into themselves and make use of these nutrients for the various life processes that the cells and the organisms are going to engage in. So assimilation is very important. It follows nutrition. If an organism has nutrients and is unable to assimilate those nutrients into its body, into its cells, into its different metabolic activities, that organism will not be able to sustain life. After assimilation, we can talk about growth, which is the irreversible increase in size and development of an organism. So organisms, whether they are unicellular or multicellular, engage in different aspects of growth. They grow. That growth could be an increase in size, could be an increase in the number of cells. There are many ways for determining growth for many different kinds of organisms, but organisms grow, and when they grow, they make use of nutrients and they use it to grow. They may grow to a stage where they have to divide if they are unicellular in nature, or they may grow to a stage where growth does not continue to happen, but gradual decline comes, which we call senescence or old age. And with that gradual decline, then the organism is able to, finish all the other things that it has to do before it now dies. So you have nutrition, you have assimilation, you have growth, then you have excretion. Organisms, when they take in nutrients, when they use up those nutrients, when they assimilate those nutrients, they generate waste products of various metabolic reactions. And these waste products, when they build up, they can become toxic. So you can have a toxic buildup if these waste products are not eliminated from the organism. So excretion is the manner and way by which different organisms are able to eliminate the waste product of their metabolic activities. They pass out these waste products in the form of urine, in the form of sweat, sometimes in the form of fecal matter. So one way or the other, sometimes in the form of uric acid, urea, one way or the other, different organisms are able to pass out their waste product in the process which we call excretion. We also have reproduction. Organisms are able to reproduce after their own kind. And we say after their own kind because a lion will not give birth to a goat, neither will a snake give birth to cattle. So it is after their own kind. Every kind of organism is able to reproduce after its own kind, is able to reproduce offsprings that look like itself genetically, phenotypically, that's in looks, and genetically, that's in genes and genetics. So the offspring looks like the parents, and that is how uh, generations are being propagated. That's how organisms are propagated from one generation to another, to another, to another. So reproduction is important. An organism that stops to reproduce will go into extinction, and that organism will no longer be available or be seen in nature. So that is reproduction. We also have irritability, which is the ability of the organism to respond to both internal and external stimulus. So stimuli means different impulses, things that happen in the environment that the organism needs to respond to. Whether it's in its internal environment or in the external environment, the organism must keep that ability to respond and respond appropriately, because this is vital for the organism to be alive. If it's unable to respond to stimuli, both internal and external, that organism will not be able to sustain life. So this is important. There's also respiration. Respiration is important. That is Now, respiration is not gaseous exchange, breathing in and breathing out. No, that's gaseous exchange. Respiration is the use of oxygen or any other molecule to break down and bring forth the energy that is locked up in organic matter, locked up in food. So respiration is different for different kinds of organisms, but the idea is that at the end of the day, respiration is to generate ATP. Respiration is to bring rise to adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency, which is what the cell spends, which is what the cell uses up for all its activities. Now, lastly, we have movement. Every organism is able to move in one way or the other. Some organisms, like the animals, microorganisms, are able to totally move their body from one place to another. Meanwhile, the plants that even seem rooted to one spot are still able to sway around and move around at that particular spot. So movement is important because it helps the organism, to run after prey, to run away from predators, to search for food, different kinds of things, to run away from harm and danger, then to go towards nutrients, to mate. So many things are important, and movement, is going to run and generate all these life processes. This is just a quick review of the characteristics of living things. It's important that we understand it at the basic scale or at the basic level before we go to more complex ways of understanding these processes. Thank you for listening. Remember to like, share, and do have a beautiful day. Thank you.